If you ask me, the tension building up for this Friday, June 5, is reaching a fever pitch that we have not seen in years, and I am absolutely here for it. We know that Ethan is trying to bury his past deep under a pile of legal paperwork, but as I have told you time and time again, in this town, the truth has a way of rising to the surface like a jagged rock in a calm lake. When Alexis stares at those files, I can see the conflict in her eyes, the professional duty warring with the moral weight of what she is about to hide for her client. If you ask me, she is playing a dangerous game, and she knows it. The fact that he is so desperate to keep his connection to the child of Delilah a secret tells me that the stakes are much higher than just a simple paternity claim. There is something lurking in the history of that connection that could destroy him if it ever saw the light of day, and I am watching every single move they make with bated breath. Now, let us talk about the absolute wreckage that is the living room of the mansion. Tracy is a force of nature, and when she sets her sights on someone, there is no escaping the fallout. I was watching the scene where she confronts Chase, and I have to say, the look on her face was pure, unadulterated fury. She genuinely believes she caught him in an act of betrayal with Willow, and for her, the optics are damning. If you ask me, Chase is innocent of what she is accusing him of, but in the world of the elite, perception is often more powerful than the cold, hard facts. You can practically hear the ice cracking under their feet as they trade barbs, and it makes me wonder how long this marriage can sustain the pressure of external scrutiny and internal insecurities. It is a classic soap opera disaster in the making, and I am obsessed with the way the writers are dismantling their trust piece by piece. We also need to discuss the fire that is burning inside Brooklyn. I mean, guys, the woman is a powder keg waiting for a spark, and knowing that Willow is hovering around Chase is that spark. I saw the way she looked when she realized what was going on, and it was not just jealousy. It was a cold, calculated realization that her position in his life is being challenged. She is not going to stand by and watch her life crumble, and if I know her at all, she is going to start fighting back with everything she has. The way she has been maneuvering lately shows a side of her that is both brilliant and terrifying, and honestly, I think we are all underestimating how far she is willing to go to defend her territory. It is delicious drama, and I am leaning in, waiting for the inevitable explosion that will change everything for them. Meanwhile, in the darker corners of the city, Sonny is handling business in a way that only he can. I watched the scene with Pascal, and I have to say, the intensity was palpable. When Sonny tells a man he has one final chance to save his own life, you better believe he means it. Laura was standing there, the silent observer of a morality play that happens far too often in their world, and I found myself wondering what she was really thinking. Does she see the man she once knew, or is she just seeing the cold reality of the life he has chosen to lead? If you ask me, Sonny is operating on a level of stress that would break a lesser man, but he is standing tall, holding the weight of his empire and his choices, waiting for the clock to run out on those who dare to cross him. I really want to focus on Nina for a second because her intuition is rarely wrong. She is sensing this shift in Willow, and the way she is hovering over Chase is genuinely disturbing to her. You can see the wheels turning in her mind, the way she tries to make sense of the obsession that seems to have taken hold. If you ask me, Nina's afraid of what happens when that obsession crosses the line from concern to something more sinister. She knows the history of this family, and she knows that once a line is crossed in Port Charles, there is no turning back. It is a fascinating psychological study, watching her try to navigate her own feelings while being dragged into the chaos that she clearly wants no part of, yet somehow she is always right at the center of it. And then we have the absolute wild card of the situation, the photo that Ava is holding. Guys, I am screaming at my screen because we know exactly what that picture represents. Delilah smiling with Ethan is the smoking gun that nobody saw coming, and the fact that it is in the hands of someone as ruthless as Ava means that everything is about to change. She is not going to let this sit idle. She is going to weaponize it, and I am here for the total destruction that it will cause when the truth comes out. If you ask me, this is the catalyst for the end of the peace that the families have been trying so hard to maintain. And I cannot wait to see the look on everyone's faces when the secret blows up in their collective faces. I am also watching Jocelyn with a lot of interest. The girl is not just a victim of circumstance anymore. She is taking the lead, using tactics that would make her mother proud. When she cut that power, I actually cheered out loud. She is smart, she is capable, and she is done being pushed around by the likes of the people who think they can control her. It is a refreshing change of pace to see her take the initiative, and I am convinced that her next move is going to be something that forces the hand of everyone involved. She is not playing the game the way they want her to, and that is exactly why she is going to come out on top when the dust finally settles. Let's think about the weight of these choices for a moment. Ethan thinks he can seal his files and hide his paternity, but we all know that secrets in this town have a half-life of about 5 minutes. Alexis is caught in the middle, and while she tries to protect the law, she also knows that her clients are essentially lying to themselves. If you ask me, the tension between what is legal and what is right is tearing the very fabric of their legal practice apart. It is a brilliant bit of writing that forces these characters to choose between their personal integrity and the people they are supposed to be helping, and I love the way the show is pushing them to the brink. Guys, can we talk about the fear that is clearly present in every room? Whether it is the mansion or the interrogation room where Sunny is holding court, there is a sense of impending doom that is impossible to ignore. We see it in the way characters look over their shoulders, the way they hold their breath when a phone rings. It is a masterclass in building tension, and I think we are all feeling the same level of anxiety as we wait for the other shoe to drop. It is why we watch, isn't it? That feeling of being on the edge, not knowing who is going to make the next mistake, who is going to be the one to finally break under the pressure. I am particularly interested in the way Tracy is handling her anger. It is not just about the alleged affair. It is about the loss of control she feels in her own home. She is used to being the one pulling the strings, and the fact that she has lost her grip on Chase and his relationship with Willow is driving her absolutely insane. If you ask me, her anger is a projection of her own insecurities, a way to maintain power when she feels like everything else is slipping through her fingers. It is a deeply human reaction, and it makes her character even more compelling to want to watch, even when she is being absolutely impossible. And what about the man posing as Nathan? The hints are piling up that he is about to receive an offer that could change everything for him. Is it a trap? Or is it an opportunity to finally get what he wants? If you ask me, nothing in this world is ever free, and whatever offer comes his way is going to have strings attached that will tie him to the very people he is trying to escape. I am watching him closely, and I think we are all about to see a side of him that he has been hiding since he first set foot in this town. It is going to be explosive, and I am here for every single minute of it. We really need to reflect on the nature of truth in Port Charles. How many lives have been ruined by a secret that was kept for the wrong reasons? Ethan thinks he is being protective, but all he is doing is setting a bomb that will eventually go off. If you ask me, the best thing he could do is come clean, but we know that is not going to happen, not while there is even a shred of hope that he can keep the truth buried. It is a tragic cycle, and as an audience, we are forced to sit on the edge of our seats, knowing the disaster is coming, but unable to do anything to stop it. I have to ask, guys, do you think there is any way for Chase and Brooklyn to save their marriage if the truth about the paternity comes out in the wrong way? They are already standing on such shaky ground that it feels like any additional weight is going to be the end of them. If you ask me, their relationship is the heart of the current conflict, and if it breaks, the fallout is going to touch everyone from the Quartermains to the rest of the town. It is a high-stakes emotional game, and I am not sure they have the tools to survive it once the truth is fully exposed. As we head into this weekend, I am bracing myself for the impact. We have secrets, lies, power plays, and enough emotional baggage to sink a ship. If you ask me, the writers have set up a perfect storm, and I, for one, am ready to see who is left standing when the hurricane finally hits. we are in for a wild ride, and I promise to be here, breaking it all down for you as it happens. I hope you are just as excited as I am to see how these stories unfold. Goodbye, and see you again in my other videos.
Goodbye. Please like, subscribe, and comment on the GH Spoilers Daily channel.